All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the KrAzY Show with Katherine. I think it's episode number 8, but I'm not really sure 100%. So cheers to all of you secret crazies, all of you out of the closet crazies. Maybe you're still not quite at your crazy yet, but cheers. And so I found these new drinks. It's called Truly Spiked and Sparkling. With this one is with a hint of lemon and yuzu. I don't know. But it's like a carbonated drink that's not super sweet, and I'm loving them. I drink them all the time, sometimes in the morning. Because there's orange ones and grapefruit ones and lime ones. So it's like juice. Anyway, so what am I going to talk to you about this week? Or this week? Or today, because it's not a weekly show. I've missed a few weeks. But today, I want to talk about being a control freak. I'm titling this episode Confessions of a Control Freak. I used to be a control freak, and I still am. Way less than I used to be, but I still am. And so, I was, now I'm like, where do I start? Blah, blah, blah. I was such a control freak that I would have my whole week or 2 weeks sometimes planned out in my day planner, like what I was going to do exactly every day and for what amount of time it was going to take me, and like really controlling my schedule. And that was not working for me, but I didn't really realize it at the time. For some reason, I thought that was how I was supposed to do things. And I thought that if I wanted to get anything done, that's how I had to do it. And looking back, like, so this is probably back like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. It was really hard to do things, and there was a lot of force and effort to do things, and things took me a long time. Now, I didn't know then that that's what that was, but looking back, that's what that was. And what started to change that for me was, well, in 2013 when I had my bars run for the first time, and when like everything about access consciousness is letting go of that control and living in the moment and allowing different possibilities to show up. And so what is access consciousness? Access consciousness is a set of tools that allow you to change and create your life however you desire to. And the founders of Access are Gary Douglas and Dane Here. And yeah, so I started playing with these tools. I became aware of them in 2013. So it's been like 5 years now, probably. And now I realized what a control freak I was, like so fucking controlling. And so Travis, my husband, he is a grain farmer, was a grain farmer back then too. And of course, like, stuff comes up and he would need me to help him. And I would get so freaking mad at him because he wrecked my schedule because I didn't have a time slot wrote in for him, and he wrecked it all, and he threw me off for like a whole week or 2 weeks, and it was like rah rah rah, and there was so much fighting, and like how ridiculous I was. But I didn't know that there was another possibility or that I could be different. And what really sent me searching for something different, well, I started to know, like, because I started to realize that I wanted to help him because he always helped me. but I would get so angry about it. I don't know. It was so weird. Um, and what set me looking for something different in my life was my father-in-law dying, my daughter Helena being born, and my grandma dying, all within a month in February, March of 2013. Like, so that I really started looking at what my life was, and like I was doing the horse thing already, like, teaching riding lessons and training horses, which is what I wanted to do, but I wasn't truly happy with it. And so I was looking for something different, and I found access. Yay! How does it get any better than that? And then I started letting go of the control from using the tools, playing in the possibilities, and now I am really realizing what a control freak I was. Another one of my control freak things, like when I was horse training, I would try to control the horses. Do you know how hard that is? Like impossible. And often you're like working against stuff. So it's like really hard and not fun at all for either of us. Now when I'm training with the horses, we work together and it's so much easier. And like when I used to teach riding lessons, I used to have a plan and a structure. And now it's so not that. I show up at the lesson and see what's up with the horse and what's up with the rider, and we create from there, and changes happen way faster. And it's more fun for everybody. And often the rider is like beyond pleased with what they've achieved in the lesson. Now, granted, I needed to start somewhere. Like I started with the structure and I needed to start somewhere. And I'm so grateful that it's now led to this being more out of control. And I didn't have any room for possibilities to show up in my life before, because I was so like on my schedule. And that if something was like, hey, come over here and have fun, I'd be like, fuck no, you're not on my schedule. My schedule is to get this done. And it's not fun and it's really hard, but I'm going to get this done. Oh, come over here. Let's have some. No. Like, it's so funny. So what inspired me to talk about this was, so I had been planning to host the beautiful Anna Yelenius for a class a couple weekends ago at the end of July. And for whatever reason, the class didn't go because we didn't have enough signups. Now, in the past, I would have probably slightly freaked out and I would have tried to control it, and I would have like really talked to people and like trying to force it. And then also maybe even tried forcing to make her come. Like I would just pay the difference that she needed. And there was so much force in that. It even makes me frown. And now instead, looks like we decided a couple days before the class, or it was more than well, maybe it was only like a few days, a week before the class, maybe, that it wasn't gonna go. So I let everybody who had signed up know. And then what started happening was another possibility started showing itself to us. And Travis and I got to take our kids on this really amazing holiday in BC. We went to the Enchanted Forest and we did this sky trek adventure, and we camped. Like we never camped with our kids. We go to our cabin, but that's not really camping. And we got to camp by a river, and when we went on this holiday, I didn't have any plans. Like we had an idea of what we wanted to do, and we knew we wanted to see our friends in Wetaskiwin, and we knew we wanted to go to the Enchanted Forest, but how we got there was just totally see what the day brought us. And it was so amazing. And we met like so many cool people along the way. Like we camped, I think 3 or 4 nights in like on our way just in the mountains, and we found campsites. And like I actually asked for that. I asked for what would it take for this holiday to be ease, joy, and glory. Because I was aware, like we went before August long weekend, so stuff wasn't crazy busy, but I was aware that there's a possibility stuff could have been booked up. And it wasn't. And it was just like, we're driving along and we saw signed campsites, and it's about 8:30 at night. I'm like, oh, let's go there. So we went there, and it was cool. And we went on a little hiking trail, and we met really cool people. And And then the next day we got up and we had breakfast and we carried on. And like, it was the funnest holiday ever. And what I just asked the kids today what the funnest part of our holiday was, and they said camping. And I think it was just because it was the adventure of camping and staying in a different place every night. And Travis and I got along so well. Like, I mean, we went on holidays before and it hasn't always been easy because there's me, the control freak, and then there's him who is like more fly by the seat of his pants. He always has been. But this holiday, like, we never argued once, we never fought once. Everybody was just like cool, and he was actually really cool with stuff that the kids wanted to do that maybe wasn't so fun for him, and it was just amazing. So that was supposed to be the weekend that Anna was at our class, but that didn't happen. So now, because I'm now allowing other possibilities into my life, this showed up. And then on, like, kind of leading up to our holiday, I had the awareness of creating like a kids summer riding camp, and I wanted to do it with my friend Barb because then we could have more kids. And she has more like I have one lesson horse, and I'm aware that there's kids out there who love horses and love riding, but they don't have a horse. So I wanted to make it accessible to them. And Barb is awesome, and she has a couple of lesson horses. So I asked her, hey, are you game to create this with me? Do you want to do this? She's like, yes. So I was thinking like August 18th, 19th, so that gives us a few weeks, but that didn't work for her. So then I'm like, let's just do it on August 11th. And I think this was 10 days away from the day or something. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we got back from our holiday like a week before the clinic was supposed to happen. I posted it on Facebook, and the interest we got was like huge. Now, this is kind of allowing me to let go of a point of view I had about putting on an event, because I used to think that sometimes you needed a lot of time to give people notice so they could plan and be controlled, but not everybody's like I used to be. But no, that's so not true, because like, bam, I think we're pretty much full, like with the maximum people and kids. And then we added in an adult class the last time, and then we added in like a young kids class. Like, we totally allowed it to be what it wanted to be, which was so fun. Now then I almost limited myself before I posted it, like, oh, there's not enough time. So before, I would have stopped this creation and just said, no, there's not enough time, we're not doing it. But instead, I let it go, and I told myself, like, why not? Why not? And I did it. And then when I'm starting in my head to go through all this stuff that's required to get done, it was really overwhelming. And I was trying to figure out like I went into figuring out what we were going to do with these kids and adults and young kids. And then I'm like, no, I can't even figure that out because I don't even know exactly who's going to be there. Like, it's going to be somebody different. Like, let it go. Let go of the control, Catherine. So this is still something that I'm working on, are being present with and choosing differently, if you want to say that. And now I'm super excited, and all the preparations, like I just kept asking all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. What would it take for this weekend? Because it's happening on Saturday and today's Thursday. So you might not even be seeing this video until it's going on. I'm not sure what I'm going to get, but anyway. Yeah. And it has come together with so much ease, joy, and glory. And Barb and I had a brainstorm session, and we had all these ideas of all this fun stuff we could do, because I mean, I want the kids to learn, and learning truly happens when you're having fun. And yes, there's times for lessons and information to be shared in a structured way, but like, if there's no joy, then what's the point? That's kind of getting to be where I'm functioning from now, or where I'm living my life from, which is like, wow. So, confessions of a control freak. It's so much more fun being out of control. And I also had another thing, like looking back to, 10 or 12 years ago when I was such a control freak. I mean, not that I drank a lot, but I used to get drunk a lot. Well, not a lot, like once a week maybe, but just drunk, like totally tipsy and can't walk straight and puking. And when I'm kind of looking back at that right now, when I was drunk was the only time that I would let kind of my schedule go for that night. I would let it go, and I would allow myself to be drunk and not controlled. Now, since I've been doing Access, I don't actually get drunk anymore. Like, I have a couple of drinks, or I have like a breakfast drink, but just one of them. And I don't actually get drunk to the point of not being able to walk or puking. And I wonder if it's because I'm all just allowing myself to be me and not so controlled all the time anymore. So I don't know. I just had a thought. It's really cool. But so yeah, that is my confessions of a control freak. And I'm so excited what possibilities are showing up now that I'm not controlling everything in my life. And my relationship with Travis has gotten so much better because I am working with him, not against him and just on my schedule. So anyway, until next time, cheers to crazy and out of control. And thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.